the checks. That didn't go over too well with DJ Envy. So when they came on The Breakfast Club, he felt the need to address that. So he started the show again. Welcome everybody. Is DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee. Welcome to The Breakfast Club. We have a special guest, Pussy and Dickhead. And he went on going to say that he felt disrespected because they had pretty much disrespected his wife, and they came, come at her saying that she was there for the money. So he got, all his feelings, the beige rage, and they started going back and forth. Ultimately, he ended up leaving the show, on his own show. And that's where, Desus and Mero and Charlamagne started kind of talking about it and making fun of the whole thing. I think it was a big overreaction on Envy's part. I could see why he was a little, may have been a little flabbergasted by the entire thing, but I think it was unnecessary. I think honestly, it was just because he was trying to compensate for the fact that he cheated on his wife, and he's now trying to do the whole Hercules thing, trying to, come to her shining, be her, what's the thing? The shining.
No, knight in shining armor?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. My bad. I didn't read fairy tales like that growing up. But he's trying to be her man, knight in shining armor, and
because he was suspended.
Who was suspended? Wait, he was?
No, you were suspended. That's why he ain't read no fairy tales.
Oh, wow. In first grade? Wow. That was funny. Yeah, I can't talk about when I was suspended in first grade, guys. That was very wild.
Yeah, don't tell that story.
Got me sent right back to Nigeria. But anyway. Yeah, so I mean, do you think he was over, it was a big deal? He was over exaggerating the whole situation. He was, what do you think?
Well, so what I think is, one, I do think he overreacted, but a lot of times I think I just don't be trying to give people a reaction most of the time. So that's one. Two, I think I understand why he did it though, because if his wife found an issue with it and you gotta hold it down for wifey. So if she was kind of like, oh, I didn't think that was cool, and yada, 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 he's going to check them. But where I thought it was weird, it was that, one, the way he did start off the show, like Pussy and Dickhead, like, are you 12? Like, you sound like a toddler. Right. You pussy. Like, okay. I was like, corny, but I also think DJ Envy is corny, and so that's why a lot of people feel that way too. So I think it was hard for people to rally behind him, because even though people in some instances did see where he was coming from, or at least in terms of like just approaching the situation, period, they couldn't get into it because it's like, yo, it's DJ Envy. One, I could barely take DJ Envy seriously now, and he don't even be doing nothing. So imagine him trying to check somebody on The Breakfast Club. I'm just like, you look corny. So I feel like, for me personally, I feel like that was something that could have been addressed before they got on air. And if you knew that some of you didn't want to conduct the interview, then you shouldn't have done it at all. You should have just sat your ass in the lobby, whatever lounge y'all got, and that's it.
Honestly.
And just keep it pushing.
I think it was dumb on his part, because again, like, these are internet boys. These are people who have mastered the game in trolling. Like, they have a TV show pretty much based on just trolling people. The way he reacted, granted, yes, it would help The Breakfast Club in the long run. In terms of, people going to see the interview and watching it and commenting on it and getting, being a hashtag on Twitter and stuff like that. It kind of made him look even more corny as a person. Like, I wouldn't take Envy seriously. He's not somebody that I would necessarily like, ooh, Envy, you're talking tough, and I'd be scared about, like, bro, it's Envy. This mad light-skinned dude, mad corny. I don't know. It's just like,
he light-skinned, he can't fight? That's what you're trying to say?
I mean, light-skinned people in general are just weak, aren't they?
Ooh, start it up. Chima started it up. He called y'all all pussies and dickheads. Chima said light-skinned people can't fight. Yo.
I mean, they can. I mean, the only way you can get away with being light skinned and tough is if you got like face tats. Like, what's that rapper's name? David East or whatever?
Oh, what about Chris Brown? Chris Brown looked like he about it.
Yeah, and he got a whole head tattoo. So he like, that man crazy. So, I mean, we've seen evidence he got hands, but hey, I'm not going to touch that.
No comment. No comment.
But, yeah, I mean, light-skinned dudes just, light-skinned dudes are weak. I mean, look at Steph Curry, too. Like, if Steph Curry came up to you like, shut up, Paul, I would laugh. Like, and just walk away. Like,
but is it because he light-skinned or is it because,
yes,
I mean, no, because I'm sure there's like some chocolate people that you would be like, nah.
Listen, psychologically, we've been brainwashed to think that light-skinned dudes are weaker and dark-skinned people are a lot more tougher. Ew, that's terrible grammar. Are a lot tougher than their counterparts. Like, even slave days when, you got the house niggas and the field niggas, light-skinned, dark-skinned. So it's all...
They would have been real disappointed in my slave ass because I was like, I need to be in the house with the rest of them niggas. I'm like,
bro, is it lunchtime yet?
Right.
My aunt's kind of tired.
Me in the house. Please.
Honestly speaking, I couldn't be a slave, yo. I couldn't at all. Like, y'all have to time out mad times. I'd have probably been killed earlier along because
No, they would have seen your stature and they would have been like, oh, nah, he good to work in the field. We gonna work
today. My stature is built on privilege and luxury. Gloria, you don't remember my skinny pictures from back in the day? Exactly. If I was in the field, I'd been super skinny. Dumb skinny. Yeah, we're not gonna release those pictures though. Anyway, back to what we're saying.
I have them though, guys. So if you want to see them, just at me. I got
and I got Gloria's nudes. So if she does release it, trust me, it will be on the timeline, guys. Anyway, continue.
Look at my face, guys. Okay. Anyway,
but back to what I was saying.
So what I was saying too, part of it too is that in terms of like them going on the real, like I know they brought up the whole cheating thing, right? With Erica, whatever else. One, I mean, that did happen a while ago. So do we really feel like he's justifying going so hard at them with the cheating thing? Yes. Because how long ago that? I think that happened like maybe, if not 5 years or more. So I feel like, is he still trying to compensate for that? I mean, they made up. She had another child. They have a podcast. They on the real still talking about like, all this stuff. So I feel like they moved past that. So what else is he compensating for?
I mean, I think personally it's just because I think it just came back on the internet again about him cheating, and the internet never forgets. So you always want to defend your wife's honor. And I think he's just trying to make sure that people know that he supports his wife and loves his wife and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's just a combination of those things. I don't know. Shout out to Emily
is the wrong one. That all people. She's a firecracker. She did tweet something. I don't know what she tweeted, but I know she did tweet something in reference to like everything that was going on because it really did blow up. And I was dying because Charlamagne was in there cracking up too, and I know Envy was tight when he was like out there like looking at that shit like Charlamagne.
Charlamagne is a sociopath, honestly.
Why?
I don't know. He doesn't react to like social cues the way people would handle things. I mean, like, for example, when Envy left out, he's like, yo, turn the camera on Envy's seat. Like, it's that alone would make Envy tight. And the fact that he doesn't think that would make Envy tight is just like,
I think he knows that would make Envy tight. He just don't give a fuck. Like, he thinks like they're cool enough.
And that's the more reason why he's a sociopath.
No, but I think they're cool enough that he knows he can do that and it will still be like cool between him and Envy. Like, it wouldn't be like Desus over there saying, oh, swivel the chair over there to like, whatever. I mean, swivel the camera over to the chair. Then it's kind of like, oh, okay, like now you riding it. But since Charlamagne did it, he knows Envy. So I think that's why it was cool. He was just trying to gaslight the situation, I think.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to everybody. DJ Envy looked even crazier because he even proceeded to try to talk about it on his podcast with his wife, which nobody listens to.
Did you listen to it?
No. No.
I ain't listen to it either, so I mean, whatever.
I wasn't about to open it up to hear what he had to say because Envy is not somebody I necessarily want to even, I don't tune into Breakfast Club to listen to Envy. If Envy wasn't there, the Breakfast Club would still be just as entertaining to me.
And Angela Yee. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to talk my piece.
Angela Yee, she's
no. I will give Angela, and I will always give her, is that I feel like
research.
She does do the research. She asks the questions, like if they have a project coming up, like you could tell, like she knows what she's talking about. Like, oh, I saw you on this, or you have this coming up, or that and the third. Like she would ask those questions, which I think is good because, where I guess Charlamagne and even sometimes Envy, like depending on who it is as well. Because I mean, when it comes to like maybe hip hop and rap, Charlamagne asks those questions too. But they're more on the, I don't even want to say personal, but you get what I'm saying. Like it's just a different type of questioning. So I'll give her that. That's it.
That's good. I mean,
I don't know. I think she's cool. Like she seemed like she's a cool girl, but in terms of like her on the Breakfast Club specifically, I can't get into it. It's just,
Angela Yee is she's there to fill a quota. Honestly, she's there to make sure that Breakfast Club is quote unquote diverse. Exactly. Her annoying ass voice. Like, Lord, her voice is so annoying, yo.
It's not even that.
My voice is so beautiful, but it's terrible.
It's not even that for me. It's just be like, and even when she be doing her ass keys, I just be like, I skip over that segment. I'm sorry, guys. I just needed to voice my opinion on that. But anyway, either way, more of the story is in regards to DJ Envy, you're corny, you wag, no one takes you seriously. I'm so sorry. It is what it is. And I'm glad you defended your wife's honor. I'm not mad at you about that. It could have been handled better. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Moving right along. Charlamagne and Michael Blackson. Just want to put this out there. I don't think Michael Blackson is funny. I think he definitely capitalized on the African being in America thing and the whole fake African accent and the whole stereotypes that Africans face. So he came into the market like really early, but as a comedian, he's not funny to me. He just says outlandish things in a fake African accent, and that's it. But you can continue with your Charlamagne and Michael Blackson interview.
So, it just came up on, like, I think I was watching maybe somebody's interview, whatever, and on YouTube. So this one came on after. So I was like, let me listen. One, cause he is a fellow Ghanaian. But I don't think he's funny either. Everything to me is just too forced. It's just too outlandish. And for me personally, even just with comedy in general, a lot of shit don't be making me laugh. Like sitting there and like telling jokes and stuff. Like I would really have to be, things that are funny to me are like my people around me. You know what I'm saying? That make me genuinely laugh. But like some comedian, I mean, Dave Chappelle, I really do think he's funny. I know people have an issue with him now, or the Marlon Wayans stand up.
That was funny, actually.
Very funny.
I enjoyed it.
Very animated. So I felt like, if you was, talking to one of your friends, and a lot of times I do tend to be the animated friend, it was just like, when telling a story, like I could relate to it. So I thought that was funny. But a lot of times I don't think comedians are funny. So that's my disclaimer. Anyway, so I'm listening to the interview, and I know they brought up the whole thing with Kevin Hart cheating and basically Michael Blackson making fun of that. And I guess what bothered me about the interview, and which I just found to be so irritating, was that I guess quite a few comedians came on before Michael Blackson, which I didn't even know it was like that many. Whatever.
Yeah, they did.
So after the Kevin Hart had spoke his piece about how he wasn't feeling how Michael Blackson, made a joke, basically kicked him while he was down, they asked every single comedian that came on after Kevin Hart, right before Michael Blackson, about, his response. Cause a lot of things with comedy, they do make jokes about things that people would consider sensitive or whatever have you. So with that being said, when Michael Blackson got on there, they asked him about, how he felt in response to like Kevin's, response. And he was like, basically, to quote Nene, I said what I said. He was like, I take it back. Like, that's how I felt. Like, he was like, I was making a joke, and Kev should know that as a comedian. And basically, that's what it is. So they played everybody's take on, all the comedians that came on, their takes on, the Kevin Hart, Michael Blackson situation. And I ain't like that, because I was like, why did you guys, I felt like basically they were trying to cater to like Kevin, cause it's no secret, like Kevin does come on there often. He is a